inside the press box at Cyclones Stadium, where we welcome you to our broadcast of high school football. Today, it's the host Cyclones taking on the Yellow Jackets of James Monroe. I'm Mark O'Connell, and the fellow beside me needs no formal introduction. He's the one and only Steve Peacock. Steve, it is unprecedented, and it's indeed unusual that our first broadcast of the football season occurs in late February, and yet here we are.
Yep, we are, Mark, and it's been a strange 2020 and also a strange start to 2021, but I hope that we get back to seeing how everything, as the year progresses. Hopefully in fall we'll be back doing football again, but you're right. High school football is exciting any time of the year, and I'm ready for a good game here between the Cyclones and the Yellow Jackets of James Monroe.
We've got a lot to talk about during our broadcast. We welcome our viewing audience. We are, for the first time ever, live, and it's something to be very excited about. But a lot to tell you as we get through today's game. Well, the Yellow Jackets won the toss, deferred. Eastern View will receive the kickoff. Kicking off for James Monroe, big number 72, Jonathan Alisi. It's a short kick. This one's going to be fielded, fair caught by Connor Weeks for Eastern View. And some of these lines are not marked as far as the numbers, Steve, so we'll have to sort of assist each other. Now we're going to see, as we start from scrimmage, we're going to see Eastern View on offense. So let's talk about the Eastern View offense and what you feel like is different about this year's team in contrast to years past.
Well, they got an inexperienced at quarterback. Caden Hughesby is starting his first varsity game as quarterback for the Cyclones, and their wide receivers are also new. So with the strength of Eastern View is going to be the offensive line and their running game, led by Rock Lawson, and Chaz, Mike, and Keene will be in there as well.
So Caden Hughesby, the quarterback. This is Rack Lawson, the ball carrier.
Rack Lawson with the carry for 3 yards.
Gets down to about I may need your assistance with these line markers, Steve. Some of them simply aren't marked. And it's hard to sort of tell where that ball is marked at. Looks like it's going to be the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like the 25-yard line.
Okay. All right, so Eastern View on offense and going against James Monroe. This is James Monroe's debut game of this season. Eastern View comes in with a record of 1-0. They open with a win over Caroline, 20-12. We've got Caden Hughesby, the quarterback. Rack Lawson again, the ball carrier. This time, James Monroe stuffs him near the line of scrimmage to hold him to about a 1-yard gain. We're going to have a third down coming up for the Cyclone.
It looks like it's going to be about a third and about 7, Mark. Looks like you got him at the 20. It's like about the 23-yard line. And again, the strength of this year's Cyclone team is going to be their offensive line, and led by number 66. You're going to have Nate Newton.
Off that right tackle position.
Yep.
And we can try to pick up the starters as we get along here. Here's a third down. They're going to go to Rack Lawson straight ahead. He's going to get to about the 30, it looks like. Let's check it. That's going to be short for the first down. It's going to bring about 4th and 4. So 3 and out for the Cyclones on their first offensive sequence, Steve. And we saw 3 straight runs by Rack Lawson. And now going to drop back to punt the ball away. Looks like it'll be Jalen Woodward. Let's check his, looks like he's going to be standing at the 10-yard line. So, James Monroe, barring a muff, should get excellent field position off this punt. And it's a short kick. And this is going to bounce down and be touchdown there, dead at the, let's check.
It looks like it's going to be at the...
I don't see some of those markers, Steve. It's just hard to pick up here. 50, 45, 40... 41-yard line?
Yeah, this is about the 41-yard line, Mark.
All right, so James Monroe will start on offense. Excellent field position. Eastern View's 41-yard line. This is the opening quarter here at Cyclone Stadium. 10-10 to play, clock ticking in the first quarter. You're looking at James Monroe's offense. And we know that their quarterback is Aiden Ryan. He posted some good numbers last year. James Monroe, always skilled, always athletic, always has team speed. Let's see what they dial up here on first down. This is Ryan. He wants to run. He gets to the outside, but the Cyclones close in quickly on that. 2 or 3 Cyclones converge for the tackle. They hold him to a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, led on that defensive line. Elijah Hoskins was in there. He's a tough tough kid. The number 50 brought in the tackle was Braden Walker. But Mark, Aiden Ryan is already committed to UVA. He accepted a full scholarship to UVA. They're going to use him as a primary defensive back. But you've got a lot of talent in Aiden Ryan. So what the Cyclones are going to do, they're going to try to contain him and not, get to that second level. He gets that second level, he's an athlete, he's gone.
Steve, we probably talk about the condition of the turf, with all the moisture and everything we've had. Ryan going to hand off right tackles, the running back pulling his way forward for a pretty good yardage. Number 25, Deontay Curry. Curry will be about 5 yards shy of a first down. So here's a 3rd and 5 for the Yellow Jackets on their first possession of the game. Clock running, 8:50 to play. First quarter action. Cyclone Stadium's the place. It's Eastern View taking on James Monroe. So Eastern View on its first possession went 3 and out, and now the James Monroe looking for a 3rd down conversion here. And they've got Aiden Ryan in the gun. Curry alongside him. They fake it to him. He's off right tackle. Is Ryan, the quarterback, lowers his shoulder. Big gain. That'll move the sticks. And then making the tackle for Eastern View, looks like it was DeMaio Hunter. Let's check the line of scrimmage there, Steve, where they have it spotted.
It looks like they're going to have it spotted right about the 18-yard line.
Well, that was a pickup of 21 yards on the play. And I thought Aiden Ryan, nice job of selling that fake. He had a huge room over that right side.
He did.
For the opening, and then straight ahead he went, lowered the shoulder, picked up good yardage. 1st and 10, James Monroe from the Eastern View 18-yard line. In the gun, the quarterback, Ryan. This time he does hand off to his running back. He gets to the outside. He'll pick up first down yardage. That is Deontay Curry. And, Steve, Aiden Ryan does a nice job of selling the play fake.
He sure did, Mark. And that was why Curry was able to pick up that nice run because of, everyone's keying on Ryan. Where is he? And again, he got through the defense of the Cyclones. And again, we're not used to seeing the Cyclone defense being attacked like this with the run game in years past. They've always had stout defenses. But again, like we said, Mark, earlier, they've had no really practice.
Yeah, and so it's just been so many variables to mention and that affect these teams. The ball carrier straight ahead was Sean Wallace. Line of scrimmage was the 5-yard line. Looked like they'll mark it down at about the 2.
For the Yellow Jackets. The whirlwind of
again, they bring in number big 66, Nate Newton, and number 55 for the defense, Jaden Bortula. And again, Mark, they have not had studies of teams because usually with scrimmages they got tape to look at. They never had that. It's a very short season here for the 2021.
Yeah. James Monroe looking at 2nd and goal here from the 2-yard line. On this drive, they took excellent. They're going to trap Ryan in the backfield for a loss and sack. And that makes things a little different here on 3rd down for the Yellow Jackets. How about Rack Lawson getting in there and making the big play for Eastern?
He did. And again, that was also the fault of James Monroe. The running back went the wrong way, and Aiden Ryan didn't have anybody hand off to. So now it's going to be 3rd and goal. It looks like the Yellow Jackets are going to call timeout.
Yellow Jackets call a timeout.
Yellow Jackets.
And as we look to our notes and all the things we have to tell you today, remember we are live for the first time. We have Nicole Wooten back at the station. We're also simulcasting on EV Nation TV on YouTube. Our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air. We can say thanks to Greg and Katie Venable for that. Timeout sponsor at CFC Farm and Home Center. What do we know about them? We've been talking about them for a long time, Steve. CFC Farm and Home Center is your hometown service since 1932 from head to toe. It's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Well, we're down to 6:28 here in the first quarter, no score, but James Monroe knocking on the door, but they did take it. They started this drive with outstanding field position at Eastern View's 41-yard line. And about 7 plays later, they've got a 3rd and goal. They had 2nd and goal from the 2. 6-yard loss makes it 3rd and goal from the 8. So, if you're James Monroe, what do you dial up here on 3rd and 8?
A little play action maybe to freeze those linebackers, and if it's not there, Aiden can run it.
He's got time. He's looking downfield, looking for somebody. Slings it out of bounds. Incomplete. Now we're going to have a 4th and goal will we see James Monroe's field goal unit?
And we got a flag
We
mark
have a
on the
flag
flag on the field. The official picked it up. Yeah, no
Oh, now
flag.
they wave it off. Good eye.
flag.
And in
Flag
fact,
is
that
waved
would have been
off.
our first penalty flag of the game, and it is not. So far,
Brings up
clean
fourth
playing,
down.
both
Yeah.
teams. Line of scrimmage, the 8-yard line. Make that 4th and goal for James Monroe. I don't think they've sent in their field goal.
No, they haven't. They're going to try it again. The reason that they thought that Eastern View was committing pass interference or holding, but the ball he was holding the receiver was out of bounds. So
All right,
and they
let's
gave the
see
penalty.
what quarterback Aiden Ryan. Now, he's got his running back there on his right. That's Keyshawn Wallace. Here's Ryan. He's going to throw. He's got a receiver,
Pass is incomplete.
but it's incomplete.
The Cyclones
And so Eastern View's
hold on
defense
and will take
holds
over.
and will take over at their own 8-yard line.
Good defensive stand there by the Cyclones, Mark. They tightened up when they needed to. Now the offense is going to be heading the other way, but it's deep in their own territory. Let's see if these linemen, led by Elijah Hoskins and Nate Newton, Grayson Yates, can get the ball, open up the holes for the running attack of the Eastern View Cyclones.
And we know one thing that's predictable about Eastern View is that, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about, Steve. Throughout the Hatfield era, and he's been here from the beginning, when I think of Eastern View's offense, I've always thought about balance.
Mm-hmm.
They can spread it out, they can run it, but early indications are they're more run-oriented this year. That could change, of course. Rack Lawson, the ball carrier, straight ahead to the 10-yard line. What are your feelings about that?
Second 8 for the Cyclones.
With Kate
6 minutes
Huseby back
remaining
there,
in the first quarter.
he's a tall kid. I'm sure he's athletic. Do you see them eventually opening things up in the air?
Yeah, I do, Mark. It's just that right now they just haven't had the practice time due to COVID restrictions and no film to study opposing teams. So they're going to go with their bread and butter, of their offensive line. And we can't forget the center, number 60, Lance Dean's only sophomore.
Here's Rack Lawson looking for running room, finds a little bit, gets
Rack
out to
Lawson
the
up the
15,
middle.
maybe the 16-yard line.
Pick up of
It'll
about
be
7
it'll be
yards.
3rd down
Brings
and
up
about
3rd and short for the Cyclones.
3rd and 2, maybe 3rd and 1.
Yeah, about third and
it
one,
is.
Mark. About 3rd and 1.
17-yard line. Manageable 3rd down here for the Cyclones. Do they go to Rack Lawson? Yes, they do. James Monroe wraps him up
Rack
pretty
Lawson
quickly. Let's
with
see
a
if he
short
has
gain.
enough for a 1st down.
Don't think they got it, Mark, from where they're going to
picked
spot
up
that
The
football.
yards needed. That's a Cyclone.
Oh, they gave it to him. Yeah, first down.
All right, so it is a Cyclone 1st down. We'll keep possession.
It's hard for us because of all the wet field, and you get the field mark. We're going to have to look at sideline markers instead of on the field. But, last night I saw it snow last night up here, and it was covering the ground. I was hoping we'd have a little bit of snow on the ground and play. We never broadcast a game in the snow, so.
Yeah, well, you know what? Remember that in Virginia, that's where we are.
Yeah.
We could have snow now and
Lawson up the
55,
middle.
sunny degrees.
70 degrees. Those
Later in the afternoon.
2nd and 5
Yeah.
for the Cyclones.
It's supposed to get warm. They're calling for temperatures up in the upper 50s, but it doesn't look like they can get there with that breeze. But let's get back to football here, and let's see what, right now, Mark, we're just getting a big dose of run from the Cyclone offense. And, knowing Coach Hatfield and staff, they want to keep James Monroe honest. I think we're going to see a couple passing attempts in this series.
Got about 2nd and 4 here. Lawson, ball loose, jarring hit. Let's see who comes up with it. Lawson had 1st down yardage. Then the defender came in and really put his hat on that ball.
Yeah, he did.
Knocked it loose, forced a turnover, and coming up with it for the Yellow Jackets is number 57, Nathaniel Dorsley. 1st turnover of the game.
And Mark,
The 27-yard line.
that was a heck of a hit.
Yes,
I mean,
it was.
He put a textbook. He put the ball put his helmet right on the ball, and Rock Lawson coughed it up.
I did pick up the defender's number, but that's you can't do it any better than that.
No.
As a defender, he came up, jarred the ball loose. Rack Lawson had 1st down yardage. Eastern View gives up the 1st turnover here. We've got 4:14 to play. Scoreless right now, but James Monroe with an opportunity once more. Excellent field position, 1st and 10 at the Eastern View 27-yard line. Aiden Ryan, the quarterback, swings it out there and to Jaden Williams.
Ryan with the pass.
Nominal gain on the play, and it
Josh
looks like
Rose with the
footing,
tackle for the
traction
Cyclones.
could be an issue.
Mark, that was the biggest thing coming into today's game because the forecast, if it wasn't going to be played today, they're going to either go tomorrow or Monday. But tomorrow, Monday, so forecast for all rain. And right now, that field is slick. It's hard for the opposing both teams to get any footing.
And to me, if you were to, think this is an intangible footing and slowing down skilled players, I like the idea that Eastern View is run-oriented with guys like Rack Lawson. That doesn't really hurt them in that department, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't. If you run straight ahead, but if you're trying to fake a defender or run to the sideline, then make a cut, that's where you can't plant your foot. And next thing you know, boom, you're down on the ground.
Gregory Williams, the ball carrier, went to the outside.
Rack
Gets
Lawson
down
with
to
the
about
tackle.
the 21-yard line. He picked up 5 yards. It'll be about 3rd and 3 from there. Clock running, 3:10 to play here in the first quarter. We're scoreless at Cyclones Stadium. The game between Eastern View and James Monroe. As we said, Eastern View 1-0 in the season. James Monroe making its debut today. High snap. They get it down. Ball carrier straight ahead. Pretty good effort there. Number 29, or 25 rather, Deontay Curry. And he'll have a James Monroe first down.
Curry with the carry, picked up enough for the first
Yep,
down.
it sure did. And then, of course, big number, looks like 85 lost his helmet, so he's got to come out. And is it 25? Looks like 25.
Well,
25. Jaden Williams has 25.
25 is Deontay Curry, but it looked like number 29 was actually the ball carrier. I don't have him on my roster, do you?
No. I'm talking about 25 for Eastview. Lost his helmet. He had to come off.
All right, 1st and 10, Yellow Jackets from the Cyclone 15-yard line. Here's Ryan. He's got time. He's throwing end zone. Incomplete. Overthrew everyone out. Overthrew everyone in that vicinity.
Well, it shows off his arm right there, Mark. I mean, it was a nice throw. It just was a little bit too long.
For the Cyclones.
Well, this broadcast
2nd and 10.
brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 547-3673. All right, here is 2nd down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Talked about the quarterback, Hayden Ryan. He is a senior, 6'1", 200 pounds, athletic, had a good season last year. Split the duties with a teammate who's no longer there. As you pointed out, transferred. Ball carrier this time is Keyshawn Wallace. Straight ahead and nothing doing there as the Cyclones stuffing at the line of scrimmage. And big number, is that 68 or 78, Steve?
It looks like it's 78.
Elijah Hoskins.
Yep. He's going to he's an ODU commit.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
He's committed to ODU. They offered him a scholarship. So.
All right, trivia time for Steve Peacock. Can we stump Petey? Old Dominion's nickname is
the Monarchs.
The Monarchs. All right. And that's where Elijah Hoskins committed to playing. All right, here we go. 3rd down. About 9 to go for James Monroe. They need a big play here. They fake it. Ryan keeps it straight ahead. Lowers his shoulder. End zone. First score of the game. It's Ryan from 14 yards out. Touchdown Yellow Jackets. 6-0 James Monroe with 1:35 to play here in this first quarter.
Mark, that was a beautiful fake by Ryan because they thought they really faked out the defense for the Cyclones. And then Ryan just took it, used his athleticism, took it right up the middle with hardly nobody there, and scored the touchdown.
Will attempt the extra point for the Yellow Jackets.
All right. Well, the holder's going to be Tyson Taylor, and the kicker is Jonathan Alisi on the tack on the extra point. Snap is low. They get it down. Alisi's kick is up and good. 7-0 our score in favor of James Monroe. Well, this broadcast, which is live. Did I tell you it was live today, Steve?
Yep.
I did tell you.
Yes, you did.
All right. Just want to make sure you stay in the know. All right. This broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530. And how about cash imprints? From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with cash imprints. 317-1473. And now James Monroe. Look at that sky there, Steve.
Yep.
Back there.
Seen some blue skies, seen some sun. And now
It almost look like something from the west, you know.
Yeah.
But as the sun comes out, after the weather we've had, it's really a beautiful sky here. We were kind of concerned about the weather coming in. There could be continued to tomorrow or Monday. No worries. We're here. I think the temperature's probably, close to 50 now?
Yep. It's about, my phone's showing 48 degrees.
Elise's kick is short. This one's going to be fielded by Weeks, I believe.
Hunter with the return for the Cyclones.
Scratch that, Steve. Our return man was...
Number 8, was it?
Oh, DeMaio Hunter.
Yeah.
Wonder if he might be related to Diego.
Sure is, his younger brother.
I'm sure. So DeMaio Hunter.
There's another
Pretty good
one.
little return there. And now Eastern View, Steve, as we go back on offense, will have excellent field position as they hope to answer JM scoring drive.
They have to, Mark. I think they got to answer right here, even though the first quarter, we were at 1:24 left in the first quarter. But right now, James Monroe has come out with a little bit more, they want it more. A little bit, right now, Eastern View's trying to feel their way and how they're going to handle their offense. But if they want success and win this game, they're going to have to open it up and throw some passes.
All right, they start from the 37-yard line. That's Weeks in motion. Racked Lawson, ball carrier, stood up, pushed back, no gain on the play. And several Yellow Jackets in on the tackle, including Devin Parker.
Mark, I think it was Mikey Keene with the ball carrier. Looked like. That's what it said. Number.
He wears 44, right?
40, yep.
My mistake. Chaz Keene wears 5.
Yeah.
According to this. Okay.
Like
if it wasn't Lawson, then
Lawson's they were running a wildcat. Well, Lawson was in at quarterback, handed off to Keene. Now Hughesby's back in.
Right now we've got Caden Hughesby back in at quarterback. Check that player behind him, Steve, for a number because I can't pick it up from here.
It's Rock Lawson.
Okay. And here's Hughesby going to throw for the first time today. Airs it out beautifully. Good looking pass. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Mark, right now it's evident to me, seeing what Eastern View, they just, they have to break in a whole new receiving core. And right now, I don't see the speed player that Eastern View usually had, in years past. When they had, Blake Leak, they had Diego Hunter. I mean, they had speed people, and they had Alex Spangler. They don't have that right now. But they've had good JV teams that have won the Battlefield District three years in a row. So hopefully they can get on track on offense here.
All right. And they're looking at 3rd and 11 from the 35-yard line. Here is Hughesby. He's going to throw. Incomplete. Threw it behind the intended receiver. Intended for D'Artagnan Sherbin. And now we'll have a 4th down and the punting unit. And Steve, the punter this year and kicker is Jonathan Bales. And he has some, actually, it looks like it's going to be number 6 for the Jalen Woodward as the punter.
Yeah.
I was going to mention the place kicker replacement for Garrett Hutchinson, whose name we called so frequently. And I think the main reason we called him so frequently is because Eastern View's always had the history of scoring a lot of points, which means that your kicker gets a lot of work.
Yep, it sure does.
All right, so lining up to punt this one away, Jalen Woodward. High snap, well over the head of Woodward. He gives chase, and he's tries to get on it, and doesn't look like he does. Instead,
it's touchdown.
Looks like maybe recovered by Gianni Allen, and it is. It's a JM touchdown. So that's going to go down as a pretty big gaff now for Eastern View on that play.
Mark,
Steve.
and I think what's happening too was the punter went over his head. He didn't know what to do with it. He should have just dropped on it for safety, but he's just watching it. And what happened? James Monroe was smart. They just jumped right on the ball and recovered the fumble, where the punter was just standing up looking at it. So again, a big crucial mental mistake right there by the Cyclones.
I was wondering as I watched that play unfold with Woodward back there, if by the time he recognized he needed to pounce on it, he was sort of out of position to do so.
Yep.
Lisi on for the point after. Kick is up. No good. 13-0 our score. JM with 21.4 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock to play here in the first quarter. Well, this broadcast, as I try to tell Steve, I try to convince him this is a live one. Steve, you know what that means, don't you?
Yep. We live.
We're live, and it means
We're large and in charge.
large and in charge. I was waiting for you to say it means Johnny can't edit my mistakes.
That's true.
All
That's
right.
true.
Well, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Culpeper Medical Center. Get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists, providing world-class treatment for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. That's Culpeper Medical Center.
I like that. Your hometown team for your bones and joints.
Yeah. Now, how about Copperfish? From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. All right, Jonathan Alisi, 1-2 on point afters, but his team currently enjoying a 13-0 advantage here late in the first quarter. They have a touchdown by their offense and a touchdown by their special teams off the punt return. Another short kick, this one fielded near the 30-yard line.
Hunter returns the kickoff.
And this is DeMaio Hunter returning.
41-yard line.
And Eastern View will again have excellent field position, Steve, as we're late in the first quarter. They trail 13-0. Let's talk about what we've known about these two teams. They don't have a long rivalry, but they've played, what, 7 games? 7
games, and it's 4-3 in the series, Eastern View. Eastern View always gets a tough game from James Monroe. The other thing, James Monroe is a Division III school in the battlefield, where Eastern View is a Division IV. So it's going to be, but James, it doesn't matter what division, they always play tough.
Rack Lawson, the ball carrier, spinning his way forward. Made a couple guys miss. And he picks up about 3 yards on the play from the 39 out to the 42-yard line. And the clock runs. Just may do it for the first quarter here as the final seconds tick off. And they do. So we played one quarter at Cyclones Stadium where our score is James Monroe 13, Eastern View nothing. And we'll take a break and come back for the start of the second right after this.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists, providing world-class treatments for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
Eastern View on offense from the 42-yard line. Swing pass out here to your receiver. Looking for some running room, won't find much. Joshua Logan. First time we've called his name today, Steve.
Yep.
3 yards.
They need to get their athletes, the ball into their athletes' hands. And that's what they're going to try to do. They got to come back here and answer the scoring. But it's going to be tough. James Monroe's playing very tough.
So the Cyclones looking at 3rd and 4 from the 45-yard line. They trail 13-0. This is the opening minute here of this second quarter. Caden Huseby, your quarterback. On his left, Rack Lawson. He's going to look for Lawson. He gets away from the first defender, and then the second one drops him for a loss. And the sack is going to bring up 4th down. And about 7 yards to go. So we'll see the Eastern View punting team again. And the last time we saw them, it didn't end well.
No, it didn't. And again, right now, this Eastern View team is reminding me of when 2 years ago when we saw James Monroe at JM. They got, obliterated by Eastern View, but there were a lot of freshmen, younger players. And the same thing right now is going on with Eastern View. They're getting new players in, who haven't played on the varsity level, and it's showing right now.
Much better snap, not a bad kick, fair catch, called for and taken. And that'll be at the 30-yard line.
Yep.
Yellow Jackets will take over.
At the 30. Well, you know, this broadcast brought to you in part by Fountain Sons. More than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. That's Fountain Sons at 825-3530.
And Mark, one number we haven't called in the defensive line, number 63, Caleb Quinn is in there for this series on the defensive end, looks like.
All right, James Monroe back on offense. Here's your quarterback, Aiden Ryan. Plenty of time, airing it out, downfield. Going up for it, making what looked like would be an interception, but unable to hold on to it. And
excellent defense
out there by number 7, Daniel Taylor.
But then you got to also give credit to the James Monroe wide receiver who knocked it out of Taylor's hand as they were falling to the ground. So but Taylor made a great play. He spotted the ball, went up there, jumped in right in front of the wide receiver, almost had an interception. But
Absolutely.
These are things that Eastern View's got to do.
Yeah, well played by Taylor. 2nd and 10 here. You haven't seen Aiden Ryan throw the ball much, but they haven't had to, have they?
No.
They go with 2 receivers both sides until they send the man in motion. He comes around on the end around.
The jet sweep.
Yeah, your jet sweep, brother. I want to say that we have a live sponsor. You know, we're live this year, Steve.
Yep.
Who's our live sponsor? It's Able Heating and Air. Answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system, there's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556.
Yeah, it looks like we got a flag on the play and see what the call is. It might be against Eastern View, the way they're looking. Yep.
And, you know, let's talk about penalties, Steve. This game really hasn't had many.
Yep, we got one right here.
We had one that was waved off. This is a personal foul face mask against Eastern View. And anytime you see that, that's huge.
Yep, 15, automatic first down and 15 yards.
So they'll mark this one off. And now James Monroe will have it at the 49-yard line, a yard shy of midfield. 1st and 10, 10-20 to play. Second quarter action. Cyclones Stadium. And right now, James Monroe enjoying a 13-0 lead. They send 2 receivers to both sides. Aiden Ryan, the quarterback, in the gun. Here comes a little bit of pressure. He's going to have to get rid of it, and he does. This one picked off at the 40-yard line. Now across midfield, looking for a couple of blockers. And a nice return. And that is Tamayo Hunter. Coming up big. Interception for Eastern View. And that's just what the doctor ordered for these Cyclones team. They needed that.
The flag on the field, I mean, they obliterated Hunter, and I think you're going to get roughing the passer here.
Now they ring the bell.
Yep, it's a flag right here. Holding, decline.
Yeah, of course you would decline it. Now here's an opportunity for Eastern View. They needed a turnover. They picked up the interception by Tamayo Hunter. And they're going to have the ball, good field position. James Monroe's side of midfield at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, and Braden Walker and Hoskins have literally obliterated Aiden Ryan when he threw that ball. I mean, he just got smothered. But great play by Tamayo Hunter to be able to get in there and pick up that interception and bring it back. Now let's see if we can get the Cyclones off. Get them ready to get on offense and see if they can, mount a good ground attack and get that ball in the end zone.
All right. You're going to see players like D'Artagnan Sherbin going wide left, Connor Weeks in the slot. 3 receivers left side. Caden Huseby, we got movement in that slot position. That'll cost the Cyclones 5 yards.
Number 3. That's the stuff right now they haven't been able to work on really in practice, and not having access to film and what other teams' tendencies are. They've got old film, but the personnel have changed. So that's really, with this spring shortened season. Another thing I want to talk to you about, Mark, since, this would have been, if we started in 2020 in the fall, would have been our 24th. Now is this the 24th and we go in the fall? Would it be our 25th?
Are you counting the seasons?
Yeah.
No, I think it's still 24.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, if you
and
talk
I,
about the ones we've done.
right.
Okay. Now, here we're back. Okay. Jaden Hughesby on first down. Not too much. Tried to go to the outside. Picked up a few yards. Gets most of that lost yardage back. He does get it back. It'll be second down and 10
And Mark,
from there.
I like what Caden Hughesby's doing on that. He's going to have to take a little bit more of a leadership role. And, if it's not there, run the football. If the pass isn't there, run. Just don't take any sacks or in other words, take care of the ball. Ball security. That's what they got to do.
Top of your screen, D'Artagnan Sherbin. 2 receivers below. Rack Lawson, ball carrier straight ahead.
Up the middle.
He's going to bring up third down and about 4.
Brings up 3rd and 6 for the Cyclones.
Now they got
Depending on where they spot it. Let's see.
They spot it right about just inside the 30, about the 23rd, 24, maybe 25-yard line, somewhere in there. I would say 23rd.
And it brings up what looks like to be 3rd and 7.
Yep.
Well, Steve, you can tell about the surface. We talked about traction being a problem. Look at those uniforms, how muddy they're getting already. 3rd down. Ball lost by Hughesby, and he has to pounce on it. Now we have a 4th down, and the ball's going to be at about the 25 or 30-yard line. So what do you do here if you're the Cyclones?
Well, a punt. What's the punt going to gain? You're going to punt it into the end zone. They're going to bring the ball out to the 20 anyway.
Or you go for the angle here, try to get it within 10.
Yeah.
Or do you go for it here?
You go for it here. You're down 2 scores. You got to. I think. I would, to get something here before the first half ends.
All right, looks like we're going to have a timeout taken by Eastern View. Well, our timeout sponsor is CFC Farm and Home Center. And we know that they've been around since 1932. And from head to toe, CFC Farm and Home Center, they know it's easy outfit. That's why we talk about them so much, Steve. From 1932, CFC Farm and Home Center. You better go by there.
Well, that was the year you were born, right? 32?
32 was the year I was born. Yeah. I think I'm doing pretty well for my age.
Okay, you are.
Yeah.
You've aged very well.
We are live today for the first time ever, and Steve and I have been doing this for a long time. Good thing you and I have never changed over the years.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that the truth?
That's true.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for a while now.
I want to say something. We were talking about the variables that have come, courtesy of COVID-19, pandemic, et cetera, et cetera. I liked what Greg Hatfield said in his interview with Devin Payne. He talked about, he made the analogy of it's like a Phil Necro situation. It's a knuckleball season. You know how hard it is to hit a knuckleball if you're a baseball hitter?
Very hard.
Yeah. And I thought it was a great analogy by Coach Hatfield.
Yeah,
that's got to be what it feels like. You're a baseball, you're standing in the, you're a hitter standing in the batter's box trying to hit Phil Necro's knuckleball, and it just doesn't feel right.
Yep. And see, with this condensed season, too.
All right, Cyclones going for it. Dump pass, short. This is Lawson. Oh, he was one defender away. Had he broken that tackle from daylight. But a nice tackle there in the open field. And Rack Lawson stopped well short of a first down, and now they'll turn it over on downs. And it'll be, I said well short, actually only a yard short.
Yep.
And it'll turn it over on downs to James Monroe.
And see, look at this field. Look, no one's really touched the other end of the field, and look where the traction is. It's hard to get some traction in that mud. And, of course, Coach Hatfield is going way off on the official.
It was a great call, though, and I think it really, the defender made a nice play. Had he not, I think we might have been saying touchdown Cyclones.
Well, I think Coach Hatfield's arguing the spot is what he's doing. And, where it was, he thought he had it.
Looks like he may be making the appeal now.
Yeah. It looked like, see what the call is here. They're getting a new football.
All right. Well, as they sort this one out, have they sorted it out?
Yeah, they got a new football.
And that was one of the things they were supposed to love changing of the football for the reasons we've stated. Aiden Ryan, the quarterback, going to hand off to his ball carrier. Straight ahead he goes. And still on his feet. He's like a pinball out there. As just good hard running. First down yardage all the way there for your running back. Did you pick up his number?
It would look like number
25?
25. He's a bowling ball. I know that.
Deontay Curry.
Yeah.
Running back, defensive back, 5'9", 190.
Yep.
And, like you say, like a bowling ball.
I mean, he was carrying defenders.
All right, let's check the clock. 7:25 to play. Line of scrimmage, a 40. James Monroe, first down. Ball carrier this time going nowhere. Great penetration by the Cyclones defensive front.
Tackled by a swarm of Cyclones.
And we've got a penalty flag coming in late because I think we're going to have some hostilities that flared.
Number 85 for James Monroe was in on it. Let's see what he is. I don't have his number.
Well, and they're going to be hard to pick up as these jerseys become mud splattered.
Yep. Looks like they're going to get James Monroe. Looks like they're going to get them for a personal foul. I would think, because Eastern View wasn't doing anything. There was a lot of jawing going around, but 85 is the one that's called on it. Let's see what happened here. If he threw a punch, he's gone.
That's true. Now, you said 85.
Or 65. Is that 65? I can't.
Cameron Fry.
Yep, that's who
Well,
it
that
is.
would be huge because he's one of their star
Yeah, it
players.
is. 65. That's who it is. Cameron
Now,
Fry.
did he pick up the flag? He did so literally a minute ago.
Yep.
Does that mean there is no flag because they're not marking it off?
He's got two coaches down there talking to him, but there was something. I wonder what.
Oh, there it is. Unsportsmanlike against Eastern View. Unsportsmanlike against James Monroe. So they
Football
was
foul,
offset.
unsportsmanlike against the Cyclones.
I don't know who was in with it on Fry, but somebody was. Fry. Getting.
Remains second down.
Second and 10 from the 40 for James Monroe. So after all that, penalties offset. Second and 10. Yellow Jackets from their own 40. Aiden Ryan, quarterback, going to keep it all the way. Ryan will pick up good yardage. Got across the 45 to about the 47. It'll be about 3 yards shy of a JM first down.
And again, Ryan, you gotta account for him. Mark, he's a good athlete. But when I'm seeing now Eastern View starting to get settled in a little bit, settled down, especially on defense. They're like I said, this is a growing. Eastern View's going through some growing pains. But with a 6-game season, it doesn't give you a long time to get over that either.
No, it doesn't. Like we said, it's just so many variables to factor into the equation now during some very unprecedented and unique times. Aiden Ryan going to hand off to his running back, who goes straight ahead, breaks the tackle, and he's in the open field. Cyclones give chase, and they finally run him down about the 10-yard line. Ball is loose. They're going to rule it was dead. A dead ball. He was already on the ground.
Wow.
They're marking it about the 11-yard line, but that's a 36-yard run, Steve. And he really didn't look like he would go that far, but he broke a couple tackles.
They bounced off him, but I wanted to, see the replay. I'd love to see the replay and see if he did, actually fumble the ground caused it. But it looks like they're going to say the ground, caused the fumble, so therefore. But who's hurt? That's what I want to say. Looks like he was at the bottom of the pile and got jumped on. Yeah, he's getting up. So looks like the Mayo Hunter, number 1.
Give Josh Logan a big round of applause, Cyclone fans.
Josh Logan.
Yeah.
Logan had a big game in that win over Caroline, didn't he?
Yes, he did. But
2 touchdowns?
2 touchdowns. And see, what you're seeing now, Mark, like I said, it's just growing pains with this, with Eastern View football. We're not used to seeing them making the turnovers. We're not used to seeing them being manhandled. But right now, if you want to say in the first half, it's really been controlled by James Monroe.
Well, certainly the muff punt really hurt the Cyclones. I mean, that's something you don't expect to happen. And so you got a touchdown by James Monroe for the special teams there. But now they've got, after that huge 35-yard run, they've got 1st and 10 now in the red zone. Ball marked at the Cyclone 12-yard line.
Yeah.
And 5:59 to play here in the second quarter, and the clock will resume running as Aiden Ryan brings his Yellow Jackets to the line of scrimmage in good shape here as they knock on the door once more. Ryan, play action, fakes it, keeps it. A little bit of footwork there, and he sort of threads his way down just shy of the 5-yard line.
Rack Lawson with
Mark, one
the
good thing,
tackle,
though,
along
about
with the
short
punt
season
of the
and playing in the
Cyclones. Ryan
spring,
picked up
you get the college
second
coaches
and
and
4.
send their assistants to the game. They'll get to watch the players they're recruiting to be there in the fall. So they're going to be, so they're going to want to do a good showing. But Coach Hatfield is still on it, the head ref, and I know what he's upset about. That spot back there where it looked like Lawson had gotten the first down, and they moved it back, and that's what he's upset about.
All right, here he is. 2nd down and 4 for James Monroe. They can get a first down without having to score a touchdown here, as the line of scrimmage was 12. They need to get to their first down. And jumping over a would-be tackler.
Curry with the carry.
Was the ball carrier who got inside the 5-yard line. That was Curry. And they'll mark it at the 3. He'll be about a yard shy of a James Monroe first down.
And Mark, this is the first, James Monroe has got a big offensive line. You look at those guys in there. They're not small. They're huge. And what Eastern View's probably got on the more quickness to them, but they can't really get into a physical football game with the James Monroe offensive line because they're really tough and big.
All right, here is 3rd down. About a half a yard to go for a first down. With the clock running, 4:15 to play. Aiden Ryan, the quarterback. Here's the call. Play action. You want to throw it. This one, incomplete.
Of the pass
And Ryan takes the hit
by
after
Mikey
the release.
King.
Good sportsmanship shown by that Eastern View defender.
That's good.
And
Number 4, Rob
Aiden
Lawson.
Ryan. So now it's 4th down. Steve, they go for it here, don't they?
Now I think they're bringing their field goal unit. I think they might try him.
All right, well, that's going to mean big number 72, Alisi, for Eastern View. Let's check the spot. So the line of scrimmage is the 3, 10, 20-yard field goal attempt here. Yeah, because they're
Alicia
going
will
to
be attempting the field goal.
20-yard field goal attempt. Or, well, let's call it 19. So you see where the kicker there, Alisi, wants the spot.
See if Eastern View can come out with a big block.
Alisi's kicks have been short. They don't need to be long this time. This one is blocked, but he kicked it right into the wall of defenders.
Field goal
That was more
blocked by
that
Cyclones.
lack of height than anything else. And so this is the
Recovered by
second time
Brady
now,
Walker.
Steve, Eastern View has turned away a deep scoring threat here,
And the
or a
Cyclones
close
defense
scoring
holds.
threat by James Monroe.
Yeah, and I think that they've got to put together a scoring threat right now. And right now, James Monroe, especially on defense, has got Eastern View's number right now. I think you got to allow Hughesby to start opening up a little bit, maybe some screens, or some jet sweeps. Try to get on the edge here against James Monroe, and also their defensive line. And James Monroe is not big. It's not big compared to the offensive line. Our offensive line is Eastern View's strength, and they got to start utilizing that.
Eastern View will have it on its own 10-yard line when we resume play, which we are now. Nate Hughesby, Rack Lawson, ball carrier, tackled hard, 11-yard line.
See, the other thing is, too, that James Monroe had an opportunity to see the Caroline game down there when it was over in Cortland, because the field condition, they moved to Cortland as a turf field. So,
And that's another excellent point, because that was another thing that Coach Hatfield talked about. You don't get a chance to review film.
yeah,
What film are you looking at?
that's true.
You don't have any. James Monroe hasn't played, and so there you are. And we're back to his analogy about a Phil Negro type season.
Yep,
It's hard to hit a knuckleball.
it's true.
All right, picked up 2 yards. Did Lawson at 2nd and 8. Ball carrier again. They go with him, and they're going to stack him up near
Lawson up the
the
middle.
15-yard line.
For a 3-yard gain.
About a 3-yard gain. That's going to bring
Is
them
that
about a
third
third,
and
about
5 for the
5.
Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 547-3673. All right, here is 3rd down. And 5. Cyclones on the 15-yard line. Caden Hughesby, signal caller, trying to draw them off sides. And I think what we're going to have instead
Timeout,
is going to be a
Cyclones.
timeout taken by Eastern View, who's our timeout sponsor, Steve. You're right, it's CFC Farm and Home Center. Hometown service since 1932. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit
We'd like to
with
thank all the
CFC
booster
Farm
members
and
that are
Home
here
Center.
today, serving the delicious food
All
and
right.
cold drinks and efforts
Well, let's
to
talk
support our
about,
athletes. Be
this
sure to
game.
visit the concession stand
13 to
located
nothing.
behind the press box.
But it could have been worse because Eastern
Please
View's
ask one of the
defense has
boosters
turned
how
back
you can
James
join
Monroe
in
on 2
on the
scoring
phone.
threats. But as you talked about Eastern View's offense,
Also,
Rack
be
Lawson
sure to
looks
visit
good.
the
But
apparel
you're
shack.
talking about Caden Huseby maybe having to open it up. What else are you thinking about?
Well, I mean, getting better protection from that offensive line, especially when passing situations. And Caden Husby's got to take care of the football. So, you got ball security here. We've already lost a fumble, and James Monroe took it and cashed in on that. So we have to, also look for your receiver, especially in the slot. Try to get somebody open and then be able to, throw it there. And if it's not there, Huseby should be able to run it or just throw it out of bounds. But right now, he's looks like we got a wildcat. Huseby is not under. Yeah, he's under center. Shotgun.
So this is 3rd down and 5. Huseby throwing. Oh, the receiver immediately tackled out there, going nowhere.
They saw that
hit
coming.
hard. It's going to bring up 4th down.
They saw that coming.
Now that was number 4.
Logan for no gain.
No, it wasn't Rack Lawson.
No, it was number 1,
Brings up
Josh Logan.
Josh
down.
Logan. Okay. Hard to pick up some of those numbers now, Steve.
Yeah, but plus it's not night. We're used to seeing games during the nighttime. We'll be able to pick them up a little better.
Yeah,
But
I don't exactly have great night vision.
But I mean, what's going to happen with this short season? I think we're going to see a lot of Saturday games. We're not going to see any Friday night games. So.
How about James
I'm
Monroe?
okay with that.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, it's like I said, different. But again, the other thing we can talk about too, Mark, postseason.
Yeah.
You got to win your district. If you don't win your district, because they're only taking 4 teams per region, not 6 like they used to. And it's not going to be based on PowerPoint. It's going to be district champions within the region, and they're going to be 4, and that goes to the playoffs.
Well,
They hope to have everything wrapped up by April 26th, I think.
Probably. So I mean,
Cyclones
you're going
fans,
back
your
to
defending
just how
Group
important it is to
4
win your district.
state
Yep.
champion.
And so
Cyclones
right
Field
now,
Hockey team will open up
he's
their
1-0.
2021 season with a road
James
game
Monroe
this
is 0-0,
Thursday
but
at
they're ahead
Culpeper.
13-0.
Game time is 4:30.
So that's what
Also, the Cyclones
basically
volleyball
they've
team
got to
will
look at
travel
is,
James
look,
Monroe
we need to win this
Tuesday
football
to
game.
open up the
I think
2021
Eastern View
season.
needs to establish all the momentum here before the break at halftime
Coach
because
Coach
they're
Goods
down
will lead the
13-0.
Cyclones
And
this
remember,
season.
James Monroe won the toss, deferred, so they're going to receive the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
And you got a tough King George team that's playing. You got
Now that was a team that just recently beat Chancellor.
yep, and
Right.
then you got Cortland. So
All right,
it's spots
punt formation. Jalen Woodward. Got a couple safeties back for James Monroe standing near the Eastern View 40-yard line. Well, let's see. Check the center, the snap on this play. So critical from your long snapper. Get that ball back to Jalen Woodward.
It's so crucial right now. Long snappers are so crucial. The colleges snap them up.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended.
Well, that was a good punt. And a long snapper, that's really a good position to play
Yeah.
at a collegiate professional level, isn't it?
Yeah, because they know how important that is to get that ball back there.
I mean, and it's something that, it's just like certain positions, not
Yep.
everybody can play that one. It's a specialized position, no doubt. So, here's coming up the snap for this punt. This one's high, but Woodward gets under it. His kick is short. James Monroe gets away from it, takes a cyclone roll.
It's a good kick right
Crosses midfield, down at James Monroe 47-yard line. Pretty good kick that time from Jalen Woodward.
there. It was. That was a good kick. Got a good roll, and now see if
40 yards.
each of you can, stymie James Monroe and not let him score here with 2:20 to go here in the first half.
13-0 our score at Cyclone Stadium. Yellow Jackets over the Cyclones. As you pointed out, 2:20 to play here in the 2nd quarter. James Monroe goes back on offense. Excellent field position from its own 47-yard line. So a short field for the Yellow Jackets. I believe they have all 3 of their timeouts.
I think they've called one.
They've called one that will give them 2 and 2:20 to play. And they've got Aiden Ryan back there, and he's dangerous. He's going to roll to his right. Here comes the pressure. He gets rid of it. This could be anybody's ball, and it go up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Daniel Taylor, once again, this time defending against Chase Wormley. And Daniel Taylor's had 2 key defensive plays here today for the Eastern View.
And number 50 was putting on the pressure on.
Yes, he was.
Braden Walker was all over Aiden Ryan.
That would be Braden Walker, and as you pointed out.
You don't like to see your quarterback throwing off his back foot, throwing the air. You want to see.
Unless you're Brett Favre.
Yeah. You gotta want somebody
throwing off his back foot.
You just want somebody that's got the good arm to throw it in there.
Yeah, but I think it did it made Ryan think you got to get rid of this ball, and so James Monroe lucky it wasn't picked off. They go back on the ground. This is Curry, left side, making the tackle, 63. Caleb Quinn.
Deontay Curry.
He's tackled Curry after a pickup of about 3 yards. He got across midfield. Now at the Eastern View 49-yard line. Clock continues to run. 1:50 to play. Second quarter. 13-0 Yellow Jackets. This is their debut. This is Eastern View's second game of the season.
Yeah.
They were 20-12 winners over Caroline last week.
And wasn't that Chaz Mikey Keene, number 5? He was state champion in wrestling this year. Didn't he get a state
Did
championship?
he win it this year?
Yep, he sure did.
I know his team, Garrett Smithers won, didn't he? Won 70.
Yep.
I didn't think Keene won it. I may be wrong. Here's a reverse.
He won it.
This is coming to Gregory Williams.
Good play,
Nice
right?
open field tackle out there made by Greg Bradley.
Yeah.
Huge play for the Cyclones.
Brings up 4th down. Big play by Bradley.
Good open field tackle. Had Paul Krause written all over.
It sure did.
That's what happens when you're born in 1932. You remember people like Paul Krause.
Krause from the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, he also played for your Washington Redskins.
I know.
Yeah. So, timeout taken. James Monroe.
Yeah, I think
Fourth down, 4 yards to go. When you come back, if you're James Monroe, what are you going to do here? You got 1:05 to play. You're up 13-0. Your defense hasn't been seriously challenged. You go ahead and go for it here.
I would think you would, because that would be a big momentum change again. If James Monroe would pick it up, they can still try to get points. What's going to happen now? The defense of Eastern View, they got to put pressure on quarterback. I don't think they're going to punt it here.
I don't think so either. I don't think it's really necessary for them to, with 1:05 to go. Eastern View would have to go about 50 yards for a score, and with about a minute to play, and I think they're out of timeouts, aren't
Right. Yep.
they? We'll see. Anyway, that's a call that George Coghill, the first-year coach of James Monroe, will make. We were going to talk, Steve, about Rich Survey, a Virginia High School League Hall of Fame coach, legendary figure, 35 years of coaching at James Monroe.
Yeah, and I didn't like the way James Monroe kind of, let him go or anything like that. They didn't give him a chance last year to finish out the season, and that was kind of poor. But
all right, 4th and 5. Aiden Ryan goes to the long snap count, trying to draw Eastern View onside. They're not even close. No bite here. Looks to the sidelines for the call.
I mean, they're going to, like I said, they're going to want to let that clock run down.
But it's not running, so now we're going to have a penalty flag probably for the delay of game, and they're going to end up punting it. That doesn't hurt your punt team.
No.
I think they were looking to draw Eastern View onside, and short of that, they were going to punt the ball away.
See if we can get Josh Logan to run one back. That would be great. But, let's get back on Mikey Keene. Yeah, he won the 220.
I thought you won at 220?
Yep. Because Eastern View finished second in the state behind
Liberty of Builton.
Liberty of Builton, yeah.
My question is, when did Liberty get so good?
I don't know. They evidently.
I know they've had some good kids the last few years, but to think about I guess I just stopped following the 4A as closely as I had in the past. Here's the punt. Straight up it goes, not very far. It's going to depend on the bounce. Won't be much of one there as it's fielded and downed.
Well, Liberty,
Number
Falkier's always had
23, Sora Glover. Eastern View will have it about the 32-yard line.
But Keene had a big run against Caroline last week, so maybe let's see if we can get him mixed up and get him a little bit some touches on running the football. He's more of a bull type rusher, run between the tackles. But you're getting back to that wrestling. Falkier's always had good wrestling teams. I guess some of it's bled over to Liberty.
Yeah, it was interesting that Falkier was well down the list this year.
Yeah.
And you know whose name I didn't see, and I should know, I couldn't find him in any classification. I didn't see Great Bridge.
Huh, I didn't either. You're
I don't
right.
know what happened to Great Bridge. I'm going to ask.
Maybe they didn't want to field a team.
Because inquiring minds like yours and mine want to know, Steve. Eastern View has it, 32-yard line. Less than a minute to play. Hughesby swings it out near side. Incomplete.
Intended for.
And see, that's
And that was intended for Josh Logan. Go ahead.
yeah, that's where Logan's got to help the quarterback out. the quarterback's leading him, and Hatfield's talking to him. Don't stop. You know, you can't stop and hope the ball's going to come right to you. Quarterback wants to throw it to a spot. Logan could have made 2 steps, caught the ball, and he'd been down the sideline.
Well, you know, our live broadcast is brought to you by Able Heating and Air. And answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system, there's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. That's Able Heating and Air, 718-75-56. All right, Eastern View, 55 seconds on the clock. Caden Huseby dropping back, now stepping up. Here comes a little bit of pressure. And making the tackle is, looks like big number 54. Travis Hudson, and there's a penalty flag to sort out here.
It's going to be holding against Eastern View. And so we're going to see whether or not the Yellow Jackets are going to take it.
As they sort this one out, we'll say this broadcast is brought to you in part by Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. And also Copperfish. You know, from wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. All right. Now, 49.6 seconds to play. And we've got a second down and about 20. Rack Lawson, ball carrier. Doing a nice job of keeping those feet turning. He gets back to lost yardage. It's going to bring up third down and about 10. And an injured or shaken up Cyclone player, number 66.
Nate Newton. He gets up there.
Nate Newton.
The referee's saying my time. He's a little shaken, so they're going to.
Like the good hard running by Rack Lawson. Got back those lost 10 yards plus 2. 12-yard pickup on the play. Brings up third and 8.
Looks like he got hit, and he's like something's holding his
So
groin.
Newton comes to the sideline, Steve, and then you got number 73 coming in for him. That's Robert Fairfax.
Yep, they call him Sammy.
Sammy Fairfax?
Yep.
You may have one of the cleanest jerseys out there. So Rack Lawson again, the ball carrier. They stop him
Carries up the middle.
at the 35-yard line.
I don't see Eastern View calling any time out. I think they're just going to let this clock go.
4th down and 7. Clock running. 15 seconds to play. Second quarter action. Looks like you're right. The teams are going to be, Eastern View's going to be content to let this one run out. Go to the dressing room and put their heads together. Go back to the chalkboard, if you will, and decide what you're going to do come third quarter action. Final seconds ticking off here. Cyclone Stadium. And it's in the books. We're halfway through. So at halftime, it is James Monroe 13, Eastern View nothing. We'll take a break, come back for third quarter action after these messages. You know, you're watching Cyclones Football on the Culpeper Media Network. We are live, and I want to give you thanks to Nicole Wooten back in the station. And don't forget, we are simulcasting on EV Nation TV on YouTube. So, talk to you in a few. Enjoy the halftime.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists, providing world-class treatments for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
All right, welcome back to our broadcast. Culpeper Media Network providing you all the exciting action of today's game, which is between your home standing Cyclones and the visiting Yellow Jackets at James Monroe. I'm Mark O'Connell alongside Steve Peacock. Man up top, of course, behind the camera, the one and only Johnny Krawchuk. Well, Steve Peacock at the intermission. It's James Monroe 13, Eastern View nothing. Could have been worse. Eastern View turned back a couple scoring threats when the James Monroe had it close to the goal line. Eastern View came up twice, and they had that field goal attempt that really wasn't blocked. It was just a short kick into the wall, the Eastern View interior line. How do you see the first half from both sides' perspective?
Well, basically from James Monroe's missed opportunities lost, but they're up 13-0. From my Eastern View, growing pains and trying to figure out, how to attack James Monroe in the defense, and they've been doing it primarily with the run. But you also got to say the field conditions have also limited both teams. But I like the, Eastern View's only down 13-0. But what they're going to have to do, Mark, I think they got to open up a little bit, get some passes completed, and just play good, tough defense, because being down 13-0 is not a insurmountable score. But right now, James Monroe has been pretty much dominating the first half with field position and not having the turnovers that Eastern View had.
All right. Well, teeing it up for Eastern View is not Garrett Hutchinson, Steve.
No.
He's gone. He was a great one. Jonathan Bales. Garrett Hutchinson had such a great career, and now it's up to Jonathan Bales to be the kickoff man for Eastern View. He may have one of the cleanest uniforms out there.
We apologize for the technical difficulties that we had earlier in the first half.
Here's his first kick of the today. The line drive on the ground, picked up the one of the up backs, and he gets out to about the 35-yard line. And James Monroe will have decent field position as they start the third quarter here. We've mentioned that we're live. This is our first live broadcast ever, and we've got a lot of help. In addition to Johnny Krawchuk, we've got Nicole Wooten back in the station, and we are simulcasting on EB Nation TV on YouTube. Our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air. Thank Greg and Katie Venable next time you see them. James Monroe will start the third quarter on offense, up 13-0, and they're going to have it at their own 35-yard line.
Mark, that was a good tackle by Keegan Brown. Here we go with James Monroe on offense.
Aiden Ryan, the quarterback, hand off, straight ahead. Curry stood up, stopped at the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play.
And that was good penetration by Hoskins and Braden Walker right there in the defensive front. And then also number 2, which would be Greg Bradley.
Greg Bradley.
They're in there, and they're trying to, the defense, I think Eastern View's found their defense. But what they're really lacking right now, their offense is really not in sync. And see if the defense here can get a turnover, a stop on downs.
It'll be interesting to see. One of the things that Greg Hatfield does so well, he and his staff make good halftime adjustments. We'll see what kind of difference that'll make as Aiden Ryan, the ball carrier, the quarterback, he's stopped for a short gain. Really no gain on the play. And now 3rd and 10. So the Eastern View defense has stopped James Monroe on consecutive downs cold, brings up a third down and long, 3rd and 10 to be exact, for James Monroe.
Here's where I think Eastern View's got to dial up some pressure, make sure they find the football. If Aiden Ryan's going to want to roll out, he's going to want to roll out to his right side. So we'll see what he does here.
2 receivers near side, 1 top of your screen. And here is Aiden Ryan. Play action. Looking downfield. He's got a receiver near side. Caught. Out of bounds. Shy of a first down. Coming over to make the hit was number 8, DeMaio Hunter. On the receiver, Gregory Williams comes up short. And now we'll see JM's punting team. So, Steve, off the top of the bat here, Eastern View's defense does its job.
Yeah, good play there by the defense and knock them out, 3 and out. And let's see if the Cyclones can either do some magic with this punt return with Rock Lawson back there and get the Cyclones in good position to score a touchdown.
Tyson Taylor to punt away for James Monroe, and the man back is a very dangerous Josh Logan. Remember, he had a couple touchdowns in that Caroline game. High snap. They get it down. End over end is the kick. A one-hopper to Logan. Oh, the ball is knocked loose. Penalty flag comes in as well. Logan recovers it. at about the 25-yard line. Let's check the penalty flag.
I think it might be a face mask with the number 7 is going by Logan, and he's holding his shoulder. And then Logan dropped the football.
Covers it for the Cyclones. They will retain possession.
They retained the possession covered by them. See what the flag is.
Steve, as they sort this one out, I want to give kudos to one of our supporters, Culpeper Medical Center. Get back in the game. The Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists providing world-class treatment for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team.
All right.
Have they sorted it out yet? It's holding against Eastern View. That was a nice hit, too, made by the special teams player
It was.
there.
I didn't see the holding. I thought
Pushes the ball back. Looks like it's going to be at the 15-yard line. So this is what we're going to go back to, Steve. Eastern View defense looked good. First series held the James Monroe to a 3-and-out. Now Eastern View goes on offense. Time to check the adjustments, if any, Coach Hatfield will make for the Cyclone offensive unit. Caden Hughesby, ball carrier. Rack Lawson, Hughesby, the quarterback, hands off the ball carrier, Rack Lawson. Going to see a lot of him, and perhaps Chaz Keene, Mikey Keene occasionally.
Yeah, and I think what said, you got to open up that playbook a little bit for Coach Hatfield. He's got to get some. I think they're going to have to attack James Monroe in the air because they're really keying on the run.
So the key there is going to be to give Hughesby the kind of time he needs to hook up with his receivers. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. And let's see what the Cyclones do here. They send 2 receivers to the right. Rack Lawson on Hughesby's right. Here's Hughesby. He's being chased. Can he get away from the pressure? Not quite. They stop him just after he picked up perhaps a yard on the play. That play sort of closed up fast, didn't it?
It sure did. It looked like he had daybreak mark, but he didn't. The defensive speed of James Monroe caught up with him.
And see, that's one of the things we've talked about, Steve, in terms of adjectives to describe James Monroe over the years. You always think of team speed, athleticism, and a lot of good skill players.
Right, and right now, their defense, they're better. Eastern View right now, from what I've seen so far, is they're better defensively than they are offensively right now, at this standpoint in the game.
And that's an excellent point. And with all the variables in play we've talked about, here's Hughesby. He's being pressured. He's being sacked. He tried to get away from it, but there again, as you pointed out, Steve, good team speed by James Monroe. They come up with a sack, and now Eastern View will obviously have to punt.
Well, and I think, Mark, is that Hughes has got to have a clock in his head. 1, 2, 3. And I think he's jittery right now. If he sees someone breaking through that pressure, he's taking off. He's not really looking downfield to be throwing the football. And his receivers got to help him out, too. They got to break off coverage and help him.
Jalen Woodward going to stand near the end zone to receive this snap and punt this one away. James Monroe, barring a turnover, should get excellent field position. Fair catch made
Ryan with the fair catch.
by
The
Ryan.
Yellow Jackets. They'll take over at the
James Monroe
33-yard line. Now you're going to give it James Monroe excellent field position here.
Yeah, it's a sloppy field, Mark, and right now. That
It
field,
really is. As they get set up, we'll say this broadcast made possible by Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. James Monroe back on offense. 1st and 10, Eastern View 33-yard line. 7:06 to play, 3rd quarter action. They keep it on the ground with Curry straight ahead.
Curry runs up the
They
middle.
stand him up, push him back after a gain of about 3 yards.
again, like I said, defensively, Eastern View has done a great job. I mean, I know they're down 13-0, but they're really trying to, they've kind of bottled up that Jacket running game.
Ball marked at about the 30-yard line. This clock moving along quite quickly, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, well, when you play the run, when you run
Yeah.
the ball, it's going to.
This is James Monroe's 2nd possession of the 3rd quarter. We went 3 and out in the 1st. Each of you got the ball back. They went 3 and out. Back to James Monroe, starting with excellent field position. running back looking for some running room, and a
Curry with
little
the
second
carry,
effort there,
Steve,
darted
for about
straight forward
4
to
yards.
pick up about 3 or 4 yards on the play. It looked like they may have bottled him up initially.
Yeah, it looks like number 25. That's who the running back was
Jerron
for
Lawson
James,
with the tackle
for James
for
Monroe.
Cyclones.
He's like 29 rather. 29,
Mm-hmm.
and he is. 29 is.
But you don't have 29 you have 25 Devontae Curry. You don't have a 29 on that roster. Let's see, they got the ball marked at the 25-yard line. 3rd down and about 1. Aiden Ryan, the quarterback. Hand it off. 21 the ball carrier. He's going to be close to a first down. It depends on the spot.
Picked up about
That
1
was
yard. We'll bring up 4th down.
Keyshawn Wallace there, number 21. 4th down here, obviously, for James Monroe. Half a yard to go. You go for it, Steve. What do you dial up here? Do you go straight ahead with one of your running backs?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't get in shotgun for me to get under center and just fall forward. But, we've seen this happen before. So, but they brought in number 25, Curry, to come in and be the load right now to be that running back.
He's got that strong build, 5'9", 190.
I want to say 25, but Mark, his number's 29.
Yeah.
We don't have it on the roster here.
All right, 4th and about half a yard. Aiden Ryan. They keep it on the ground. What a nice hit by Eastern View. This is going to be close. He may or may not have gotten it. Eastern View acting like they were able to stop him shy of a first down. Let's check the spot.
Are they going to measure? First.
And the Cyclones defense.
Well, the Cyclones defense hold again, so that's at least 3 times now in this game where the Eastern View defense has come up big for them.
Yeah, you're right, and it's done a good job. And that's what, like I said, the defense is more dialed in right now than the offense. You're looking at a tale of 2 teams. Offensively, they look rusty and out of sync, and they know that they're not hitting on all cylinders. Defense, they're playing well and hitting all.
Well, Steve, let me ask you a question in all fairness. Do you think that it's easier to find some synchronicity on defense early on in the season than it is on offense?
Absolutely.
And then you got the field conditions.
Yep, you got the field conditions. The defense, they're doing a good job because they know what they have to do. But offensively, we haven't been able to get our passing attack, and that's been a really big component of Coach Hatfield's teams over the years is the offensive attack. We've had good quarterbacks.
Eastern View calls a timeout right before they were able to get this Wildcat play implemented here. So as they call a timeout, we will tell you that our timeout sponsor this year, Steve, you know who I'm talking about. It's CFC Farm and Home Center. That's your hometown service since 1932. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. All right. I also want to tell you this broadcast, our live broadcast is supported by our live sponsor. It's Able Heating and Air. That's Greg and Katie Venable. If you see them, thank them for their generosity, as well as our other supporters of Cyclones and Blue Devil football this year. So, Able, our live sponsor, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. Going into that Wildcat formation here. And I think that was a little faked out on the play. I thought the ball was going to go to Connor Weeks. Instead, you got the ball carrier being number 4, Rack Lawson.
Rock Lawson. He's going to carry the rock. He's going to be their workhorse.
That's what Sean said. Rack carries the rock.
Yep.
All right, check the spot. It's out to the 27-yard line. It is 2nd down, and we'll call it 7.
Number 45 checked in for Eastern View, and that is Branson James. Slot.
Handoff. This is Keene, isn't it?
Yep.
Takes a hard hit. Keene, his 2nd carry of the game. He went straight ahead. Line of scrimmage was to 27. We'll pick up 1 or 2 yards on the play. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 6. Big clock running. Steve, I hate to say it, but maybe I'm wrong. Hasn't this been a fast-running 3rd quarter?
It sure has. I mean, we only got 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Big 3rd down here play, Mark. For Eastern View, Mark, they've got to get offense to get on track and see some momentum and pick up this 1st down right here.
Daniel Taylor, Connor Weeks come to the left here as receivers. Taylor's wide, Weeks in the slot. Rack Lawson back there, taking the direct snap. Straight ahead he goes. He's met by a host of tacklers, including big number 54.
Keep the ball.
Travis Hudson Jr., 6'2", 229 defensive lineman. He's a senior. And that's going to bring up 4th down and about 3.
And, nothing taking anything away from Hayden Cusby, but he didn't get a lot of reps last year, Mark. I mean, he played, a couple games when it was out, he played, but he was just handing off. He wasn't showing any passing plays, and so with the shortened season this year due to COVID, he didn't have a preseason, didn't have a long practice. He had that month long in August to really work your offense. They don't have it now this season, so that's the one big difference.
All right, Jalen Woodward back into punt again for the Cyclones. Low snap, takes a friendly bounce. Quick kick given. Oh, this one trying to take on the run and loses it was Aiden Ryan, and the Cyclones may have it.
I think the Cyclones have.
No, they don't. James Monroe recovered, Steve. How about that? At least that was the direction that the referee just pointed.
Yeah, the referee just pointed, and they're going down to ring the clock.
No, well, the Cyclones were right.
Yeah.
The official pointed the wrong direction. So it's turnover. Aiden Ryan tried to take that one on the run. Turned out to be a mistake. And Eastern View recovers it, and they get the turnover. Offense goes back on the field. Will have good field position at about their own 43-yard line.
Bronco Mendenhall, when he gets to UVA and gets to college, Bronco Mendenhall will never they won't let Aiden Ryan be doing that.
Connor Weeks, the ball carrier.
He
Hit hard, dropped for a loss.
He got smacked.
Yeah, he really did. Who made the tackle there? Let's pick him up here. That was worthy of mention. He's getting the compliments from his teammate.
I think it was number 8 and number 24.
Or was it Ryan coming up from the safety position?
Could be. I mean, that's where he's going to play for UVA as a safety. He's not going to be in quarterback.
Well, whether it was him or whether it was his teammate there, Chase Wormley, they certainly got the pads on Weeks.
And just think if they had Todd Smith and Jordan Hall, they're 2 players that transferred, how strong this team would be.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 from the 43. Clock runs, 1:45 to play. 3rd quarter action. Rack Lawson throwing it near side. Got Weeks unable to get away from the first offender. That's number 55, Andrew Williams, 6'4", 230-pound senior.
Wow.
Or make that Travis Hudson, rather. 6'2", 220-pound senior.
Good tackle right there. Weeks wasn't able to get away at all.
2 downs, no gain. 3rd and 10.
Again, I would look to open it up. Why not go to the screen pass or, maybe put somebody in as tight end. I've always, me, Mark, I've always said tight ends are one of the most underutilized positions in high school football, but you can send them right down the middle on a post, and they won't pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just thinking about some of the players we've had in that position. All right, here's 3rd and 10. Rack Lawson. He's got some time. He's going to air it out near sidelines. Daniel Taylor, penalty flag coming in, and that may work against the defense for a defensive interference, as Taylor may have been held up.
Yeah, it might be defensive holding, Mark. Anyway, it's a first down, or if it's pass interference, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. It doesn't go to the spot.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing you have to adjust your mind to when you're watching the game and you see, at a pro level, you see a pass interference is at the spot.
Yeah.
And you readjust your thinking here at this level. That's the holding you were mentioning against the defense.
Which is a holding, which goes from the spot. It's only 5 yards, but automatic first down.
With that penalty, it's automatic first down. So that will be a Cyclones first down.
It's from the spot. It was held up in here. That holding from the spot in 5 yards. So.
Have it now at the James Monroe 46-yard line. That's Weeks in motion. Lawson fakes it, keeps it. Upright tackle, being chased. Open field. Aiden Ryan saves the touchdown near the 10-yard line. Biggest run of the game for Eastern View and Rack Lawson. Biggest play from scrimmage so far, and that really gives the Cyclones a huge psychological lift right about now.
Absolutely, Mark. That was a good play by Lawson. He faked the handoff, got and saw the seam, and he tried to outrun Aiden Bryan, but he couldn't get him outrun him. But again, took the ball down deep into James Monroe territory.
Yeah, how deep? Down at the 11-yard line to be exact. And clock running, 20 seconds and counting to play here in this third quarter. Will we get another playoff? I don't know. You can see who's got the dirtiest uniform out there. It's Rack Lawson, number 4.
It looks like
In the backfield there with him is Chaz or Mikey Keene. So this has been the strategy here in the third quarter, offensively, is to go with Rack Lawson back there. And that's that siren signals the end of the third quarter, where we had a scoreless third quarter. Our score remains 13-0. Into the third, we'll take a break and come back for the fourth right after these messages.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists, providing world-class treatments for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
The Cyclones have it at the James Monroe 11-yard line. As we start the fourth quarter, Rack Lawson takes the snap. And he'll be stopped after a yard pickup at the 10. And in on the tackle there, number 23 for James Monroe, Sora Glover, linebacker.
And I think, Mark, they need to get to the edges. That's where Rock Lawson, previous play, he was able to, break it free for a long gainer.
Remember, we are live this year, and our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air. And we know that Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. Check some of those new jerseys out, Steve. If you see any clean ones. All right, second down from the 10-yard line. Rack Lawson going to keep it. Got away from the first defender, not the second. That was Aiden Ryan making a good solo tackle out there for James Monroe.
Well, you can tell why he's going to go to UVA. His speed, and he's a big kid, and he can cover ground fast. So now it brings up third and about 3rd and 10, Mark. They didn't give him any yardage on that play.
He didn't get any yards at all, no.
And see, by having Lawson in there, James Monroe defensively knows he's going to run the football. He's not a real threat to throw it, but right now the passing game is kind of circumspect for Eastern View. They're going to have to work on that in practice and get the timing down. But right now, Lawson's got to figure out, they got to get good blocking up front, and he's got to find the seams and hit that hole.
Third down and about 10. It's a long 10. Now we got a whistle, and we got a timeout taken by Eastern View. All right, who's our timeout sponsor, Steve? You should know the answer to that by now. CFC Farm and Home Center. Hometown service since 1932. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. All right. I want to tell you also about some of our other sponsors. How about Found & Sons? It's more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. That's Found & Sons at 825-3530. And Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. Also, one more before we get back into play here. Copperfish. You know what? From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. All right, after the timeout, Steve, big play here for the Eastern View. Look, we're in the fourth quarter. They trail 13-0. We got a scoreless third, but it's in the fourth, and now they've got it third down and 10. Rack Lawson going to throw it. end zone. Got a little contact going on out there. Daniel Taylor comes up with the reception, and the referee signals his touchdown and a penalty flag, and apparently it may, well, I don't know who's going to be called against.
Yeah, we'll see what the call is first.
There was some pushing going on.
Did he push off to get the ball offensively, or was he held?
And that's going to be the question to answer.
The pass interference on James Monroe. That penalty declined.
Well, if it's against James Monroe, it's touchdown Cyclones. Steve, I think you got something to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, what we're going to have to do is batten down the hatches, lock the front doors. It's a Cyclone touchdown.
From 11 yards out, Rack Lawson to Daniel Taylor. First touchdown, first score of the game for Eastern View is 13-6. And they line up here.
They're going to go for it, Mark.
They line up, and then they go to the standard or conventional point after touchdown play here. I've got number 10 trying to point after Talon Loach. His kick is up and good.
Point is good by John Bales.
No, John Bales, my mistake. 10 looked like 40. Jonathan Bales, 13-7, my mistake. And that was one that they needed that extra point because let's face it, when James Monroe scored its second touchdown, it missed its point after. That could loom large here late in the game, Steve.
And Mark, that was a good play. I mean, they found somebody to make a play. Coach Hatfield said to Josh Logan and said, look, to Brock Lawson, make a play. Make a play, and he did. And again, Daniel Taylor, touchdown. Now let's see what we can do. Hold defensively, get the ball back.
Right, one score game now.
Yeah.
13-7 our score. Remember, it was 13-0 at the half, so we had a scoreless third quarter. Neither offense really could generate any sustained drive. Right. 2 or 3, 3 and outs, both teams, and so the quarter went quickly, but it also produced no points. Then you start the fourth quarter. Eastern View had excellent field position and took advantage of it. So the move there with Rack Lawson in Wildcat formation, you know he's a threat to run the ball.
Right.
They score their first touchdown of the game with Lawson throwing it to Taylor. Now Jonathan Bales will kick off for Eastern View, down now just by one score. Here is this kick. They keep it low. Nicely done. Fielded there on the line drive. Here comes the return man, breaks one tackle, lowers his shoulder. Nice return there by number 8, Chase Wormley. And with that return, Steve, James Monroe has excellent field position, a short field to work with, in an attempt to answer what Eastern View had just accomplished.
Yep, and now what Eastern View's got to do is they're going to have to just play stout defensively, not give away the big play, keep an eye on Ryan, and then Aiden Ryan, and then hopefully just get a turnover on downs like they did the previous series.
Okay, so Aiden Ryan and the Yellow Jackets will have it 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line, now leading only by 13-7. Ryan going to keep it all the way. And he jumps up into the air to try. Oh, and that's going to bring in a penalty flag. Is that going to be because you're trying to hurdle a defender, Steve?
Yeah, because that's that rule to protect the safety, and it might be because he tried to hurdle. And, you're not – they'll call – you can't do that in high school football because of the injury. They're trying to protect the players, and he tried to hurdle. And, again, that is the rule went in last year. It's now its second year. A lot of kids still don't understand it. You can't hurdle a player.
Even though it's entertaining and fun to watch, it's
considered a dangerous play. Now, that might be it. It might be something different. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
But they're definitely talking it over. I mean, and the officials.
You can hear the people saying you can't hurdle, and that's what we were talking. So they are marking this one off.
Did he get the?
Yeah, this is a big penalty.
So what's that, legal procedure?
Well, it couldn't have been because that's only a 5-yard penalty.
Right.
Line of scrimmage was 45, and they've got it marked back at the 35.
Oh, for hurdling. They call that hurdling. I don't know how I don't know who this signal mark is hurdling, but.
So the ball is back at the 35-yard line.
That's a 15-yarder.
It'll be first and 20 from there. All right. Aiden Ryan got a man in motion. That's Jaden Williams. Here's this one. He threw a bullet well off the intended mark, trying to connect there with Tyson Taylor.
Tried to thread that needle. He threw it hard. I mean, he saw his arm strength. I mean, that thing was going to be hard to catch, even if it was wide open and right on and accurate.
Looks like it was more in the vicinity of the Eastern View defenders than it was the intended target.
Right.
Wasn't it?
You got it.
Second down and 20 now from the 35-yard line. Aiden Ryan's going to be careful with a throw like that because a turnover here could prove very costly for the Yellow Jackets.
And I was going to say, you got number 8, Demiah Hunter, out there who's made some plays. He's only a freshman. To make the varsity and start, that's tells you what good athlete he is.
Here's Ryan going downfield. In traffic out there, picked off by diving Daniel Taylor.
Yep.
Now, he's played big on both sides of the football, Steve. That's at least the third big defensive play he's had today. And, of course, he's also the fellow who's scored the touchdown for Eastern View so far.
I mean, they need to get – he's a good receiver, Mark. I mean, look, he played he's a defensive back and also a wide receiver, but that was a beautiful pass by Ryan. It was but he kind of overshot his receiver, and Taylor was right there with the diving catch. And it didn't hit the ground. First, good interception for Eastern View. See if they can capitalize.
Beautiful diving catch made by Taylor. I just wanted to say, it's easy to say up here from my vantage point, but as good as Aiden Taylor is, it seemed like that was probably ill-conceived. He threw it in traffic. It was about 3 defenders around his guy.
Yeah, but he thought his guy could out-sprint him. Ryan did, and it wasn't. Daniel Taylor, you saw his closing speed.
Yeah.
It's right there. I mean, but now they come out offensively. Yeah, he's out there. He might be one of the underheralded players for Eastern View that's going to turn into one of the stars the way he was able to get under there and run that football.
All right. Well, Eastern View back on offense. Rack Lawson takes a direct snap.
Rack Lawson keeps the ball, runs up the middle.
Falls forward for a pick of about 3 yards on the play.
For the Cyclones.
And, we're here in the fourth quarter. Plenty of time. 10 minutes and counting. And Eastern View down just by 6 points. That's one score. And a point after, of course, would give you the lead.
Right. And I think Hatfield's going to go with Rock Lawson here at quarterback for the rest of the way. Nothing against Hayden Cusby, but, Cusby looked like he was a little bit scared out there, Mark. And that's, he's got to get a few more practices under his belt and get the timing down. But, nothing against him. It's just that they have to go what's moving right now, and that's Rock Lawson under center.
All right, 2nd and 7. Lawson keeps it. Trying to spin his way forward after he crossed the 30. They're going to knock him down at about the 32. That'll pick up about 4 yards on the play. Bring up 3rd and 3.
3rd and a long 2.
Or 3rd and a long 2, rather.
Yep. Now, like I said, the Eastern View has got to be able to keep this ball moving, keep it rolling down because if they can control the clock, Mark, and keep moving the change, getting 4 and 5 yards a clip, they might be able to take it in for tie to score and an extra point and win it.
Yeah, so a big 3rd down here. Ball closer to the 34-yard line. We'll call it 3rd and a long 1 for Rack Lawson and company. He's got Keene on his flank there. 2 receivers top of your screen. Lawson going to keep it. Going to run into the defenders and not force them backwards. And so looks like he's going to be just a little bit shy.
Up the middle.
What do you do
Depending
here?
on the split, they're still looks like they're going to mark it. Okay, they're going to mark it just shy of that line. So it's going to be 4th and inches here.
There you go. And look, see now, James Monroe's putting their big boys in now on that defensive line.
Here comes the Lawson hit in the backfield and knocked down by guess who? Aiden Ryan. And you talked about his play defensively, and that's and how he's going to factor into the college level on the defensive side of the football.
He's quick, man. He was struck like a snake. I mean, he went right in there, boom.
Turn it over on downs. And so big lift for James Monroe with the play by, it was 4th and inches, and you feel like the momentum had been on Eastern View's side. Now you're going to give the ball back to James Monroe, and Aiden Ryan, who made that play, obviously is your quarterback on offense. Now they're going to have excellent field position, and now I think James Monroe sort of can take the momentum back here.
You're right, and see why, again, I keep going back, why you're under shotgun if you're only short in inches, and that just proved that Aiden Ryan made the play.
Let's look at the 28-yard line of Eastern View. Here's the handoff, running back, went over that right side. It was number 21, Keyshawn Wallace. Big pickup, first down yardage here. They'll move the sticks.
Yeah,
they're the reset.
Defense, they cannot let James Monroe score here. They've got to keep him out. They've got to sit there and come up with a big play with 7:50 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I'm sure James Monroe would be content to run this clock as they push this ball forward. 12-yard pickup by Wallace on the play. And gives them a first down at the 16-yard line. Wallace back there along with Aiden Ryan, the quarterback. They fake it to Wallace. Ryan keeps it
the ball up the middle.
straight ahead.
Short gain of 2 yards.
Follows that offensive line. A little bit of a surge forward. Not a big gain, but it is about a 1-yard gain, and it does run the clock. And that's something James Monroe obviously would like to do here, Steve, is keep that clock running.
Well, that's what Coach Coghill is doing. He's putting the ball in the best athlete he has on the team, and that's Ryan. So telling him, go make a play.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Coach Hatfield did with Rock Lawson. Put him in there at quarterback, make a play. And they weren't just getting very much offensive production, prior to that. And now look what's happened. It's 13-7. Now Eastern View's got to come up big defensively with a turnover here.
2nd down and 8 with the Yellow Jackets at the Cyclone 14-yard line. Aiden Ryan, your quarterback. That's Wallace behind him. Wallace, the ball carrier. Got away from the first defender, not the second. Nice tackle made there. Rack Lawson in on the tackle. Number 78 near that ball as well. That was
Hoskins.
Elijah Hoskins.
We'll be calling
3rd
his
down
name
coming
quite a
up
bit.
and about 6.
Big number 50's in there too. That's
fans, make some noise.
Braden Walker.
Ball at the 13-yard line, Steve. 3rd down here. If you're James Monroe, you got to have a score of some sort.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I think they're going 2-down territory. I don't think they're going to go for a field goal because the way their kicker kicks it so low.
Right.
But what you got to do with Eastern View is stop them here and downs and get a play, make a play.
Yeah, plenty of time for Eastern View if they hold here. Here's Ryan.
Very good play.
Oh, here's a nice tackle made in the backfield by number 11, Logan Ashwell.
That was a good play, Mark. Ryden couldn't really get any traction because of the field, and number 11 for Eastern View, Logan Ashwell, made a big play. Now
He lost 6 yards, did Ryan. Now it brings up 4th and 11. Now the clock continues to run, but James Monroe needs to play here because you're going to get the ball back to Eastern View, and they're only down a score.
They're only down a score.
Plenty of time.
They're just going to let it run down, call timeout here, Mark.
I'm going to tell you this broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 547-3673.
All right, 4:51 here to go in the game, and a big 4th down play here for both teams. Defensively, Eastern View's got to come up with a stop, and Jackets are going to try to, get a first down or a score here.
In the fourth quarter.
Yep, and we're live, and our live sponsor this year is Able Heating and Air.
James Monroe.
And, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Well, so big 4th down here for James Monroe. I'm going with you, Steve. I've been impressed with Eastern View's defense here in this second half. Look, James Monroe is scoreless.
Yeah.
Well, they led 13-0 at the intermission, but they haven't scored since.
No, hats off to the defense of Eastern View. They were dialed in. Offensively, they just weren't dialed in. That was the biggest thing. And nothing against Caden Huseby. good, looking kid, good quarterback, but he just hadn't had the experience, and Coach Hatfield had to make a change.
All right, we're going to resume action here in just a second, as after the timeout, James Monroe has it 4th down and 11. Ball at the 17-yard line of Eastern View. Aiden Ryan, the quarterback, decision time here. Here comes the pressure. He can't get away from it. He loses his footing, and Elijah Hoskins is there to get credit. So that's it. We talked early on, Steve, the footing out here is not good. What kind of day would Aiden Ryan be having and Rack Lawson if they both could get their footing?
Right, and you're exactly right. And big play by Hoskins. That's why he's going to a Division I ODU prospect going to ODU. You had 2 Division I players going at each other now. What can Eastern View do now to bring a score? They've got to score here to win the game.
So Eastern View will have it at its own 27-yard line. 4 minutes, 48 seconds to play. Here in the 4th quarter, Eastern View trails by 6. It's 13-7. A touchdown, an extra point would give them the lead. And the way their defense is playing, that might be enough. They have plenty of time, so let's see what they draw up here as they go back on offense and 1st down. Rack Lawson fakes it, going to keep it. He's got some running room.
Good play.
Big 1st down run there. Over that right side, making the tackle. Good solo tackle. Out there by James Monroe was Gregory Williams, and had he not made that, it'd be about time for Steve Peacock to say touchdown Cyclones. I think Lawson might have gone.
He would have if he hadn't made it Ryan. But see, Ryan's got that speed. You got to really use that speed against him. So how you do that? Run right at him.
Now from the 38-yard line, Eastern View has it 1st and 10. Here's Lawson again, right side. Got away, stiff arms one defender. Oh, we got a penalty flag coming in. This could be a late hit after crossed the sidelines. Did Rack Lawson. We got a little extra contact from number 24, Donovan Lindsay, and they may hit him for a late hit.
Yeah, they are. Late hit. He got him he was out of bounds. Once he's out, you can't touch him, and he did. See if you're going to mark this play.
I thought it was good footwork by Lawson to pick up the yardage he did. And then it was a poor decision by Donovan Lindsay to hit him late. That's going to hurt the Yellow Jackets as the officials get ready to mark this one off.
You feel bad for 24. He didn't do anything deliberate. He didn't actually really crush him. He just kind of put his hands on him like that.
Yeah.
But you can't do it. And they're going to call it. Plus, it happened right in front of the Cyclone bench. I'm sure a little bit of negotiation was going on.
Coercion?
Yeah.
All right, Steve, let's check the spot. Looks like they're going to mark it about the 40-yard line of James Monroe. All right, so you're on this side of midfield. 40 yards for a touchdown. And the PAT would give you the lead.
Yeah.
Let's check the clock. You got the sun.
4:18.
4
minutes and 18 seconds.
4:18.
Yep.
All right. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. Then, of course, there's Copper Fish. Look, from wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copper Fish and Time Market.
Happy birthday, Mr. Washington.
All right. And then one other sponsor I want to get in here while we have a chance. It's Culpeper Medical Center. Get back in the game because Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists providing world-class treatment for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. Well, Steve, I think if you're Eastern View, you feel pretty good about where you are right about now.
Yep, the game is in your hands, just like you'd want it. So make a play.
1st and 10 Cyclones from the Yellow Jacket 40-yard line. 4 minutes plus to play here in the 4th quarter. Airing it out for Connor Weeks. Incomplete and no penalty flag there. Looks like Weeks had a little bit of room out there, Steve, but he would have had to sort of thread the needle on that, wouldn't he?
And Lawson showed he's got a good arm, just the timing. They probably haven't worked much timing with him
Mm-hmm.
during practice with the receivers.
Well, and I think that's a critical point. I mean, we know how important timing is in most everything.
Yep.
How hard is it to obtain under the circumstances and this early in the season?
It's very hard, and right there, especially when you're not working with him as Lawson's been the primary quarterback. So what Lawson's got to do, he's showed off he's got a good arm, but he's throwing it off the run. Maybe if he can set himself, he might be more accurate.
Snap, Lawson gets it in. Tries the right side, and the Yellow Jackets string this one out and hold him for a very short gain, if any. Going to bring up 3rd down and long here.
Minimal gain.
Under 4 minutes now.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a big 3rd down play, Mark. You got to go 10 yards.
So, really the outcome could swing on a play like this, couldn't it?
Well, here's where I
On
would
a down
do.
like this.
Here's what I'd like to work. It's like a screenplay. Because they're expecting Lawson to run it. Swing Taylor out, or just do a little flanker screen, or even a screen to the running back. Now they got Hughesby back in, so it looks like.
Well, yeah, you're right. Hughesby is back in.
And he's going to do. They got him for throwing it. Probably screen.
You got Daniel Taylor top of your screen.
Yeah.
Could be a factor. Rack Lawson back there, going to block. They're looking for Taylor, and they got him. He spun away from the first tackler, and Taylor sprinting his way into the end zone from 40 yards out. Ties the football game 13-all here with 4 minutes and a few seconds to play.
Lock the windows, shut the front doors. A Cyclone touchdown. Hughesby to Taylor for the touchdown. It is now 13-13. That was a good play. Hughesby made a good play. All credit should go to him and Daniel Taylor for making that spin move. But it all starts with Hayden Hughesby making that great play. Great
How
pass.
critical then your point after here by Jonathan Bales, because are they going to go for the win?
No, they're going
to go. Okay, they're going to line up here. All right, so Jonathan Bales comes on as your place kicker. If he connects, Eastern View will have the lead. Now, I want to go back to this because James Monroe led at the intermission 13-0. It was a scoreless third quarter, and now here in the fourth, Eastern View's outscored them 14-0.
I know, Mark, and like I said, this isn't the Eastern View teams that we've used to seeing in the past, where it's been highlight reels and foot on the gas offense for previous teams. This is a low-scoring bunch, but they got a better. I think their defense is very, very sound, and if they're going to now ask their defense to win this game, they're going to Aiden Ryan.
I was going to say, if you're James Monroe, you're going to look to Aiden Ryan to do something big for you.
Yep. And you got 3 minutes and 14 seconds to go.
And I think that if you're now John Bales kicking off here, the last time they kicked off, it was a line drive, and it was received by Chase Wormley. He had a nice return. I think he would have tried to give. He didn't mean for that line drive to go to him. He was trying to get it on the ground, I think, but. A line drive to someone like Wormley could be dangerous because he can give your team good field position. And, of course, you got Aiden Ryan. But the way this Eastern View defense is playing, you got to like their chances now to finish this thing out.
Just don't kick it out of bounds.
Taking it about the 20-yard line. Watch out. After finding a seam, it closed quickly. Shy of the 45-yard line was a return man there. I believe it was number 14, Romel Turner.
And, Mark, what does that do for the confidence of Hayden Hughesby? That does wonders for him right there. Now, he made a great play, but you know what? Right now, game ends right now. The player of this game is Daniel Taylor.
Absolutely.
Defensively, 2 interceptions and a touchdown reception. Pretty good deal. And he's a senior, and he was sat behind the bench for the last 2 years. Didn't see much action, but now he's getting a chance to shine, and he's done it in this game. Now,
definitely stood up on both sides of the football defensively. He had some big plays, got the interception. He's got both touchdowns here today, and he had that was a long run after catch to make that touchdown.
Showed his speed. Now what we got to do right now is it's got to Eastern View bend but don't break and get out here with a 1-point win.
Aiden Ryan, handoff straight ahead. Watch out, lowering his shoulder.
Fumble
on the play, and they're going to rule that he may not have been down by contact. Let's check it and see.
Check it. They're saying
that was a nice hit. against Keshawn Wallace.
The officials still haven't no call. Make the call. Yes.
Well, look at that.
Yeah. They made the hit now.
It was a nice run by Keshawn Wallace.
It was.
But it was a bigger hit by the defender and
Came in
forcing that fumble.
Who came in from the backside and caused that fumble.
Again, the score is Eastern View 14, James Monroe 13.
Well, way to come back by Eastern View. A lot of, hats off to the defense, people like Daniel Taylor.
And I can't tell how many timeouts that James Monroe has. I know they've used 1 or 2 in the second half, so.
Steve, I got to be honest with you. I cannot see that scoreboard clock with the sun hitting it like
2:51.
2:51 to play.
Yep.
Eastern View up 14-13. They get the ball back with a turnover. They have it on their own 38-yard line. If you're James Monroe, you got to hold them to 3 and out and get the ball back. If you're Eastern View,
hold
couple first downs. You start with Rack Lawson running the ball. And he gets about 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. Took a big hit. The penalty flag comes in at the end of that one.
Yep, Aiden Ryan's got that one for John. He was just sitting there, John, at Rock Lawson.
It looked like a very clean hit. But it was like you said, what happens after the play is a dead ball.
He was standing over him, trying to intimidate him. That's unsportsmanlike conduct. You're going to get it called every time. Don't do that.
And you know what? Every time you do that, you really sting your team, your teammates, don't you? You set your team back.
Oh, hit to the head.
Huh?
Hit to the head. You're saying targeting now. Is that?
No, it is a personal foul. It was just not the one I had
I
specified.
thought it was maybe, I thought it was John after but it was a helmet to helmet. Yep.
Moves the ball to the JM 32-yard line. So the Cyclones have it 1st and 10 now from the Yellow Jacket 32-yard line. Again, Eastern View up on top, 14-13, 2:33 to play here in the fourth quarter. And right now, Stevie would say that this game is Eastern View's to win.
It is. All they got to do, Mark, is, just hold on to the football. They got 4 downs and the clock will be under 2 minutes. But don't what you can't do is make a turnover. Don't drop the football.
Rack Lawson back there alongside Chaz Keene. First down. Lawson fakes it, keeps it. No gain on the play. Going to bring up 2nd down, but now the clock will start working against James Monroe, and they will start using their timeouts. They call one here. Well, remember our timeout sponsor is CFC Farm and Home Center. We've mentioned them several times. We really appreciate them. But and our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air. And you know that they answer any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. And also want to mention Battlefield Automotive, which features Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community at 547-3673. All right, Steve, it's our first game of the season. This is James Monroe's first game of the season. They look pretty good in the first half. What's happened to the Yellow Jackets here in the second?
Called Eastern View's defense, and then good plays, good timely plays by the offense of Eastern View. But, Mark, that was the last timeout to James Monroe, so pretty much after this play, they can just kneel it down. So
2nd down, call it 11. From the 43-yard line, here's Rack Lawson looking for some running room, losing his footing, picks up a short gain. Clock will continue to run, and so now, if you're James Monroe, the clock is certainly not your friend.
No, they can't stop it, and that was a good play by Lawson. He just slid down, didn't go out of bounds. Sit there and it's 3rd down, just let the clock run. And if I was Coach Hatfield, if they don't make the 1st down, they get 4th down. Would you punt it or just run it?
I think you just run it. I don't think you take a chance on a muff.
That's
do you?
True. Or
the way your defense is playing,
or a snap over the
way
head.
your defense is playing, and they're going to have about a minute to work. I'd say you don't punt it. But anyway, we may not even get to that point. Let's see. We got a minute 15. Clock is running. It's 3rd down and 6.
Yep.
Eastern View, no hurry. Rack Lawson going to keep it. Lawson going to be tackled near the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 4th down. And you pointed out that James Monroe has no more timeout, so they can't stop the clock. We're under a minute to play. So for James Monroe to get the ball back, do they have time to get the ball back? And if so, they would need one super-duper play to pull this one out.
They sure would. And they don't mind getting a penalty for delay a game.
So, see, let's recap. We said it was 13-0 James Monroe at the intermission. They've been scoreless here in the second quarter, the second half, rather. You said the big thing was Eastern View's defense. I agree. But how huge was Daniel Taylor on offense?
Oh, excellent. I mean, geez, he made the move, made the play. I mean, and give Hughesby credit. It was a good pass, and it was a well thought of play.
See, I think that second touchdown by Daniel Taylor happened because of the first move he made.
Right.
He got away from that first would-be tackler, and after that it was just a matter of sprinting to the end zone. But it was making that first player miss that enabled him to go all the way.
Right.
And, of course, his first touchdown was a catch where, it was just a matter of making the catch on a nice throw, but not having to run the ball afterwards. He was already in end zone.
Right.
But
correct.
I thought that second one where he made that first down miss was huge.
That was very huge. And like I said, give Hughesby credit. He came in. He wasn't having a good game. He looked like he was down on himself, but he got himself ready. Coach Hatfield had the confidence in him. They can make that play. That will do wonders for that kid's confidence going on in the rest of the season.
Yeah, and so interesting he plugged him in at such a crucial time, a strategic moment, because he had gone with Rack Lawson in the Wildcat predominantly here in the second half until he decided to put Hughesby back in, and he puts him in and he promptly throws a touchdown pass.
Right, correct. They're
All
not
right.
going to punt it. I can see that. I don't blame them.
I don't really see any reason to, do you?
No, because you give a chance for somebody like Ryan to run it back for a TD.
Fourth down. I think you were Lawson. Run some seconds off the clock. Now, they're going to turn the ball over on downs here, but I think you're going to be. I think James Monroe's going to have about 15 seconds maybe to try to muster
as soon as he puts the ball down, the clock's going to run because it wasn't an incomplete pass. It's because just a turnover and downs. They've got a
35-yard line. 17.5 seconds remain.
Was turnover on downs. Doesn't the clock run after? Because it's in the timeout.
I don't think it. I think it stops with the change in possession, doesn't it?
Yep. They got one play.
I don't see James Monroe coming out with any sense of urgency here.
No. Was it 11 or 17?
No, what they.
It's 17 and a half seconds.
Okay, 17 and a half seconds. James Monroe has it at its own 35-yard line. They've got time for one, maybe two plays. And, you're going to have a couple center fielders back here for Eastern View. Here comes some pressure. Hayden dumps it off short. And getting out of bounds, stopping the clock with about 4 seconds left.
Deontay Curry with the completion.
He didn't get out of bounds.
It was Curry on
Run
the reception.
clock.
He got past midfield. Well, right at midfield. Now they need 50 yards in about 5.7 seconds. So
Well, the
they're down
clock should have
to
been
looks
run
like one play.
He didn't get out of bounds.
Now they confer.
Yeah, he didn't get out of bounds, so the clock should have been running. That's what they're saying.
Well, they're going to try to run the ball without the officials giving them the whistle. Probably not going to work out very well because all the officials here were conferring. They were in their own huddle.
Yep.
So you've got the debate going on about the clock. Officials win out.
5.7.
So they're going to mark it here at midfield. And you have 5.7 seconds to play. So one more chance for Aiden Ryan. And he's under center. Right, now he downs it.
3.5, 3.5. But see, the officials lost control. He didn't get out of bounds, but it was a first down. It should have been brought up first down once the change of set clock runs again.
So he had to spike the ball to stop it?
No, I'm talking about the previous play. He didn't get out of bounds. He got first down, though. And so they stopped the clock to move the change. But once the change was set, the clock should have started, and that's where the officials didn't do it.
Okay, so then he downs the ball so you can go to the sidelines, get the play in. No, this is your last play of the game with 3.5 seconds.
And if they get a touchdown this, you're going to see Hatfield go off because the officials blew this one.
Well, I bet that it doesn't happen. Anything's possible. But the way this Eastern View's defense is played, particularly in the second half, it's going to take a miracle.
Yep, you just send everybody back. Look at all how deep.
You've got two really deep safeties back there, and they're already putting pressure on Ryan. He has to backpedal and throw a short pass. This one is picked off there to end the game. Let's see who made this one, Steve. That was Josh Logan, and there's something, I don't know, sort of poetic about all that.
Yeah, it is, and that was a great win by Eastern View. Mark, what a game. They came back. They were basically outplayed in the first half, and then they relied on their defense, and they said to the offense, we got your back, and the offense came through in the fourth quarter, especially with Daniel Taylor and Caden Huseby hooking up for that screen pass, and give credit to Rock Lawson. But my player of the game is Daniel Taylor.
I agree. And I think everything you said is true, but one thing we need to add to it is remember those stops that Eastern View's defense made in the first half that kept the lead to 13. Because it could have been worse than that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They made two stops. They could have been up 21, 24 to nothing.
Yeah. So here we are back, Steve, in our niche in the broadcast booth. Good to see you again. I was going to ask you if earlier on, about coming back in February, but you know what? Whether it's February or July, anytime you can play football and talk football, you're living right.
That's a plus for me. And today's the last day of February. So
tomorrow is, right?
No, today's the 28th.
I thought tomorrow's the 28th.
Yeah, you're right. Correct. You're right.
See, now remember, we're live,
Yep.
and you can't correct that mistake on the air. It's going to be heard all around the world.
True. Forgot my faux pas. But
yeah, that's a pretty small one. Listen, it's been a great game. Just, to think about how things were at the intermission, and then to think that it was all Eastern View in the second half.
It was, Mark. And, let's give credit where credit's due. Eastern View came out after halftime, played entirely different than they did in the first half. And I know Coach Hatfield went to his defense and said, look, you play good defense, the offense will get us the scores.
And one more plug for Coach Hatfield and his staff. They were down 13-0. He's sort of like Joe Gibbs. He makes great adjustments at half. He and his staff do. They come out, think about the strategy, going with Rack Lawson, and then the key insertion of Caden Huseby late in the game.
Right, and that just boosted Huseby's confidence. He wasn't having a good game prior to that, and they went to Rock Lawson. So now that gives them a couple options now to work this week in practice where they can go against Cortland. Cortland's supposed to be a good team. They're going to play that single wing, that double wing, Cortland runs. So they're going to different style of play that Eastern View is going to, but they're nothing they haven't seen before from Cortland. But the advantage Cortland's going to have if the weather is going to be nasty next week is Cortland's got that synthetic field,
all right.
Blue turf.
Well, we could talk all day if they let us, but I guess we got to go.
Yep.
Enjoyed the game with you today.
Enjoyed it very
much. All right,
much.
once again, our final score from Cyclone Stadium, Cyclones 14, Yellow Jackets 13. For Johnny and Steve and Nicole back in the station, I want to say thanks a lot to them and to our supporters, sponsors. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. So, final score 14-13 Cyclones. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We hope to see you again soon.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists, providing world-class treatments for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.